Industrial automation operates under extreme physical pressure. A modern assembly line is a landscape of chaotic mechanical forces, heavy kinetic energy, and high voltage. Standard personal computers are too fragile for these environments. The heat, debris, and electrical interference would cause a standard motherboard to fail within minutes. Engineers solve this using the Programmable Logic Controller, or PLC. This is a ruggedized, dedicated industrial computer built specifically to automate electromechanical processes. A PLC is built to withstand extreme temperature fluctuations. It is shielded against the intense electrical noise generated by high-voltage machinery, and its chassis is designed to resist constant vibration and mechanical impact. Beyond this physical armor, the PLC relies on a specialized bipartite architecture, which is a structure divided into two distinct functional sections. Unlike a multitasking personal computer that manages various background applications and user inputs, a PLC is a dedicated controller focused entirely on a single stream of logic. It ensures fail-safe operation by pairing this bipartite hardware structure with a strict, repeating software loop. Surviving the physical environment is only the first requirement. The system must achieve a level of timing reliability that a standard operating system cannot provide. To understand how, we must look at the internal hardware. The architecture of a PLC is organized into two primary sections: the central processing unit and the input-output interface system. The first major section is the central processing unit, or CPU core. Inside this core, a microprocessor manages the system logic, monitors connected devices, and handles communications. The memory system stores the user program while simultaneously tracking the status of every input and output and archiving operational values. This CPU utilizes different operating modes. In programming mode, the unit accepts changes as logic is downloaded from an external PC. Once the controller is switched to run mode, the CPU locks the code and begins actively executing the stored process. However, the CPU remains isolated from the machine it controls unless it has a specialized bridge to translate physical signals into digital data. This bridge is the second major section of the architecture, the input-output, or I/O interface system. The input section serves as the sole information provider to the CPU, converting electrical signals from field devices into data the processor can interpret. Discrete input modules detect simple on-off states, such as a proximity sensor identifying the presence of a part, or an operator engaging a push button. Analog input modules accept signals from more complex process instrumentation, like pressure, flow, and temperature transmitters that provide a range of electrical values. On the opposite side, the output section executes physical changes based on the CPU's logic. Discrete output modules command on-off loads, energizing components like motors, indicator lights, and solenoid valves. Analog outputs command loads requiring a varying control signal, such as variable frequency drives, used to modulate the speed of a conveyor. This hardware layout maps physical states into digital data, preparing the system for logic execution governed by the processor's internal clock. Industrial machinery cannot wait for a processor to buffer or resolve background tasks. In a factory setting, every millisecond of hesitation can lead to a mechanical failure. To maintain control, it's driven by a software engine called the scan cycle. As a dedicated controller, it processes its single program over and over in a repeating loop. One cycle happens quickly, often in 1/1000th of a second. This loop consists of 4 rigid steps that must occur in an exact, unchangeable sequence. This continuous repetition provides the PLC with deterministic reliability, ensuring the system never misses a mechanical event. To see how the controller maintains this grip on the process, we can break a single millisecond cycle into its 4 phases, starting with the input scan. During the input scan, the PLC detects the state of all connected input devices and records them into memory simultaneously. It then moves immediately to step 2, the program scan. Here, the CPU executes the user-created logic, evaluating the captured input data to make control decisions. Next is step 3, the output scan. The CPU pushes its logic results to the output section, energizing or de-energizing physical actuators like valves and motors. Finally, the cycle enters step 4, housekeeping. In this phase, the system performs internal diagnostics and manages network communications before instantly restarting the cycle. Repeating these 4 steps thousands of times per second allows the PLC to maintain a continuous, predictable grip on the industrial process. When you view a massive factory floor, you see the result of this internal circuitry coordinating thousands of mechanical movements in perfect synchronization. The synergy between adaptable I/O modules and deterministic loop speeds is what makes mass automation possible. This architecture provides the ability to repeat, change, and replicate a process while collecting the vital data required to monitor the system's health. While the core principles are universal, engineers selecting a PLC must balance the specific needs of cost, power, speed, and communication for the task at hand. Industrial control is not defined by raw computing power, but by the unbreakable reliability of a dedicated hardware bridge executing an infinite, flawless loop.